Orchids are often misunderstood. Many gardeners assume they're delicate, high-maintenance plants that demand perfect soil, constant watering, and near-perfect humidity. But the truth is, orchids are actually one of the toughest and most resilient houseplants when you stop treating them like traditional potted plants. In their native environments, orchids don't grow in soil at all. Their roots are exposed, clinging to tree bark or rocks, thriving in humid air and filtered light. Once this simple fact is embraced, orchids suddenly become easier to grow, bloom more often, and send out healthy roots year-round. The secret lies in mimicking their natural growing conditions, especially when it comes to how their roots interact with moisture and air. Most orchids, particularly the popular epiphytic types like Phalaenopsis and Dendrobium, grow in the open air with roots designed to absorb moisture directly from their surroundings. These aerial roots need airflow and light, not confinement in heavy potting mixes. When kept in tight containers with traditional soil, the roots suffocate, rot, or go dormant, which leads to the common complaint: my orchid just sits there. To encourage non-stop root growth without soil or constant watering, it's important to rethink the container itself. Using mesh baskets, clear slotted orchid pots, or even mounting orchids on slabs of bark or cork allows roots to breathe freely. This setup prevents water from pooling around the roots, reducing the chance of rot while allowing every root to remain active year-round. In these open systems, roots stay drier but healthier, seeking moisture from the air and absorbing it efficiently when provided in bursts. Humidity is the second crucial piece of the puzzle. While orchids don't need to sit in water, they thrive in environments where humidity fluctuates between 40% and 70%. This encourages roots to extend in search of moisture, growing longer and more vigorously over time. In dry climates or indoor spaces with air conditioning, simply grouping orchids together, adding a pebble tray or running a small humidifier nearby can replicate the jungle-like conditions they love. Feeding orchids without soil also requires a slight shift in thinking. Since there's no rich medium to hold nutrients, orchids rely on diluted liquid feedings delivered through misting or soaking. A monthly soak in a weak orchid fertilizer solution, followed by thorough draining, keeps roots well fed and encourages active growth. Some gardeners mist the exposed roots lightly every few days, while others rely on the natural cycle of overnight humidity and morning evaporation. The key is not to overwater but to maintain a rhythm that mimics rain in the wild. One of the most fascinating aspects of soil-free orchid care is the visual feedback. With transparent or open containers, you can observe root growth in real time. Healthy orchid roots are plump, green or silvery white, and covered in a velvety layer called velamen. This layer protects the root and absorbs moisture efficiently. When roots grow freely and aren't buried or choked, they remain active throughout the year, not just in short seasonal spurts. This leads to stronger plants, more frequent blooming, and overall better resilience. This natural, low-maintenance method is ideal for gardeners who prefer to observe and respond rather than constantly intervene. Orchids grown without soil and watered minimally are far less prone to disease and much more forgiving of occasional neglect. Once established in the right conditions, they become one of the most rewarding plants to grow, displaying dramatic root systems, lush leaves, and long-lasting blooms that feel almost effortless. For anyone struggling to keep orchids alive, the answer may be to remove the very things thought to be helping: potting soil and frequent watering. Instead, focus on airflow, humidity, and natural feeding rhythms. The result is a self-sufficient, visually stunning plant that practically takes care of itself. To learn more about orchids, aerial root care, and smart container gardening, don't forget to subscribe to Dirt Decoded and share this guide with fellow plant lovers. Together, we're decoding the secrets of thriving plants, one root at a time.